Hello, this is JP Hrisoulas, the Cranky Old Bastard, with a recap of everything we've done on our welded wire blade project and a rundown of some materials and what is to come on this particular blade. Well, the blade is out of the etch. As you can see, it is etched up pretty nicely. You could really see the stainless heat treat foil breaking up the pattern here, especially in through here and here as well. That's what this stuff does, is it makes it a little more interesting, because if you don't have the stainless here, you see the pattern's quite subtle and not really that vibrant. When it comes to welded blades, I like to see a bold pattern. I guess I'm part magpie or pack rat or something, but I like to see that with the work that goes into the blade. Although subtle is nice on some things, but on something like this, I want to be able to see the pattern so you can see the workmanship that goes into it. The stainless brings that up a little bit more. It makes everything more unique, because no two will ever be alike. And this spring steel, which is 1070 on this, was improved agricultural steel, which is like 1070, like I said before. It's a good steel. I mean, it's tougher than a 50-cent steak. But when it comes to welding to each other, you're not going to get much of a pattern, because what you're seeing there is basically the decarb and the different drain structure on the weld seam versus the rest of the strand of the wire. But the fuller's in, blade bevels are ground and hammered, heat treated, everything's ready to go. It's ready to mount. Bone is out of the die. As you can see, it's got some really nice color variations to it. I love using this material. It's just, when properly worked, it's exquisite. There is a learning curve on this. You can make some serious mistakes. Again, I will say this: when you are working bone, wear a respirator or at least a dust mask, and please don't get one of those little paper things. Get one with the cartridges, because you don't want to breathe this dust in. It can be very, very ungood, unhealthy, and can kill you. You get what they call bone carver's consumption, which is basically your bone dust gets lodged up in your lungs, and it's not a very pleasant way to die, as I said before. This material here is buffalo bone. I imported this from India. That was a story in itself. I'm never doing that again. This was dyed with what I call my commie red dye. You can see there's a lot of color variations and splotches on this. It makes for a more interesting grip. I did put that little rakish cut on the back because I like it. I am going to put the buffalo horn spacers on either end of the pommel plate, on the bolster plate. This is water buffalo horn I have left over from my bow making days. I used to make composite bows. My grandfather showed me how when I was much, much younger. That was my grandfather's profession in the old country before I came to the United States in the 1950s. And he used to make horn bows. He showed me how, and I made quite a few over the years, but there's really not much interest in it. I'm still doing it, but not on a regular basis. Horn is a great material. It's what they call medieval plastic. It can be very smooth and be very colorful. Most of your water buffalo horn is solid black. You can get some variations in it, white banding, like that, but usually it's a solid black color. Other horn, such as beef horn, cow horn, that they make powder horns out of, that can be various colors, mostly in the browns and white. Sometimes you get solid blacks. Whatever the color the cow is, the horn comes out to be. But the walls on that horn are quite thin, and the cavity runs pretty much the entire length of the horn up towards the tip. So that's best used for making into sheets. You can get some grip scales out of it if you're lucky. Other than that, you just press it down to sheets and use it like that. I use those for overlays or boxes. You can use it for bowls, whatever you can. I will do a segment on the horn working here. It's going to be a while for that one to work way to it. But it's a very good material. Hardly anything sticks to it. That's why they used to use it for pharmacy spoons back in the days where they still had compounding pharmacies. As it is, I'm going to use this for, like I said, I'm going to use it for color contrast on the grip. Jazz it up a little bit, tart it up, make it a little more interesting visually. What is next will be to fit the bolster, solder it, fit the horn spacer, fit the grip, fit the other horn spacer, and then fit a palm plate. After that, it'll be all glued up. These will be pared down, the bolster and the palm plate will be pared down. The grip will be protected. The bolster and palm plate will be file worked. That'll be cleaned up. Solder line will be cleaned up. Calcium will be put on. Everything will be polished. And then maybe I'll skip the studs. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I probably will put them in, whether they're going to be phosphor bronze or the nickel silver. I have not yet decided. I'm leaning towards the nickel silver because I think the color combination would really pop. I'm going to have to lay this out a little bit and think about that because I want everything to blend in, but I don't want it to seem like it's all uniform. That's why I'm putting the accent color pieces between the bolster and the palm plate and the bone part of the grip. I want it to be visually appealing, you know. But most of all, I want it to be a knife. Because if it's not a knife, here, see this tang here running all the way through there? If it's not a knife, it doesn't cut. What good is it? I mean, you can have the most prettiest, beautiful thing in the world, but if it doesn't hold an edge, does it cut? What? It's a knife? No, it's just something hanging from the wall, put it in the safe, look at it. Form and function matter more than aesthetics, at least to me. I could have the ugliest knife in the world that cuts like crazy, and it'll be a good knife where you can stake your life on it, take it out with you wherever you go, or you can have the most beautiful thing in the world. All you can do is admire and go ooh and ah. I don't like the last part. I like a well-made, sound, what I call an honest knife. Now, the direction of these videos. I'm going to keep these raw and uncut. If I make a mistake, it's going to be shown in the video. If I spill something, I'm going to show it in the video. If I screw up, I'm going to show it in the video. If I forget to do something, I'm going to show it. Because this is the way life is. I'm not going to edit these out as some other people do on this on YouTube. I'm leaving it the way it is because if you're doing this, chances are, if it happened to me, it might just happen to you. It might not be the same thing, but you have to realize that this is a learning craft. Every piece you make, every piece I make, every piece anybody makes, you should learn something from it. It will be different. Even if it's an insignificant amount, it will still be different because every knife, every blade, every sword, dagger, axe, Tommy hatchet, spear, whatever you make is going to be its own challenge. Some go together real easy, some fight you from the beginning. All depends on how you get up in the morning, which way you face, I guess, but that's the way life is. And I want to keep this raw and uncut, as I said. This way you can see that, you know, everybody's human, everybody makes mistakes. So that's the way it is for now. If you got something out of this video, please hit the like button. If you have not hit the subscription button yet on this series, please do that. I'd appreciate it greatly. I'm going to head back out there and go at this again and see what I can get done for the rest of the day. And I'll post that later on this evening. Everybody have a nice afternoon. May the wise Lord bless and keep you. Thank you so much for your time and interest. Bye-bye.